Infinite podcast. Johnny's going to tell us what he thinks about tethering in Halo Infinite's co-op campaign.
What?
Please call us at your earliest convenience.
Now, show me what you can do.
I'm so prepared.
What is happening? It's the Halo Infinite podcast. We are the podcast covering the number one game in gaming, Halo Infinite.
All truth.
I'm one of the hosts, N64 Josh. Johnny, what's up, baby?
What's going on? When was the last time we did one of these? It's been like a month.
3 weeks, maybe, I think.
But thankfully, I didn't upload it in time, so it's only been like 2.
Time travel.
Yeah. Crawler, what's up, baby?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. I'm just looking at the shop, seeing what.
It actually looks pretty cool.
I have 10,000 credits sitting in my account that I gotta spend. I don't know. We'll see.
I like the Brody armor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's ready to go work at a construction site with a grunt face.
I love it. Well, hey, come hang out in the Discord. There's a link in the bio. All right. Come hang out community game night next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and laugh with us. It's such a good time. It is such a good time hanging out and playing this game with you guys. It's big team battle, and we just have fun. You get to watch me try to sweat and then sometimes not sweat, But I do want to say what's up to everybody in chat. I got Chironic? I want to make sure I say that right. Joel Mead, Servant, Super Blitzkrieg. What's up, everybody?
I'm probably gonna kill my camera here trying something, but we'll see.
Oh, it's okay. Let's see what's going on. So, we're gonna pull the chat real quick.
Did anybody get this?
How much have you guys been enjoying Halo Infinite still into season 2? We want to hear from you guys. I think I got the emblem. That? I got the emblem, but I didn't get I forgot to turn Twitch on and get the skin. So.
You had to watch
the Twitch. That was a Twitch.
Yeah,
drop?
you had to watch HCS.
Yeah, I
didn't do that.
I was not around, so I forgot to do it. But it looks cool. We should put you full screen so people can take a look here.
Why am I flickering for you guys? I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's flickering a little bit.
You're flickering.
Elgato, you gotta love it, right?
Gotta love it.
That's a pretty cool. I saw some gameplay with it. I didn't know how people got it, and now I do.
Yeah, looks clean. So here we go. Okay, so from the chat, Servant says, Halo Infinite is the best Halo game ever made. Don't let nostalgia get in the way of facts. Oof.
But honestly, we're going to talk about MCC a little bit tonight, and they're doing all they can to make it just a great history lesson for Halo.
Love that. Super Blitzkrieg says, I've been enjoying it. The fracture has me coming back. So there you go. And that's great. I still have been popping in and trying to get some games, and
Entrenched is back this week. So
yeah. And I've played a couple games just to start working towards that, because I want to make sure I get all that stuff unlocked. So
because when they actually, get more content and everybody comes back, you're going to be like one of those people like, yeah, I was here since the beginning. Look at all this stuff I have.
And NFT.
Look at all this. Look at all this sweet loot. This is going to be one of our topics. We'll probably cover it first. E3 2002 Halo 2 demo is going to be fun add to MCC. This is going to be very interesting. We'll talk about that first. And then Kai Ronick says, but I mean, Halo 3 came out with Forge, better customs, and file share. Halo Infinite has missing content. It does.
And we haven't shied away from talking about that.
No, not at all. But we still are championing this game. We still enjoy this game. We think the foundation of what Halo Infinite is going to help carry it on for a very long time, but it's got an uphill battle. There's no doubt about it. So, Crawler, you got some info on this E3 2002 Halo 2 demo coming to
Pull
MCC.
the blog post up and share it here.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, like I don't know how many of you guys were familiar with this, but this demo was different than what the actual game was. Like we are going to be like if I remember correctly, like the BR was it. I don't know if it had a different sound to it or it shot a little different. There were the brutes were introduced for the first time. Like I remember going into Halo 2 and I was like, when are we going to play this? When are we going to play this? And then, well, we didn't, but that's all going to change 20 years later. Almost.
Now, is it just going to be a port of it, or are they going to put in the Halo 2 engine that they use for the anniversary?
Taking a look at the if you guys are just listening, we're taking a look at the blog post right now from
So there's some Halo 1 content that they're going to add as well. Let's see.
We're still just
I mean, this is like digging into like kind of some of the stuff that Marcus was sharing on Twitter like a while ago, like some of the original like models and stuff. Like that's so dig site is something for Halo 1. I'm trying to like, so I guess it's
Look at that little warthog.
it's like a
Whatever
Fortnite
the heck
little
that
model
is. What is
there.
Love that. Looks great.
So stress test. So first
All right.
ride in the Piglet is what it's called.
The Piglet instead of a warthog. I love this. That is great. So let's see. 343 Industries, this is from IGN, is recreating the iconic E3 2003 Halo 2 demo. So not 20 years, 19 years, in the Master Chief Collection as part of a larger modding project to revive cut content. The Earth City demo
vehicles from Halo 1.
Yeah, I think some of those showed up in the PC version, but I obviously didn't play it, so don't quote me on that. But I know as we've jumped into MCC, we've been able to see more and more of some of these items that were not available on console. So here we go. The Earth City demo that never made it in the final version of Halo 2, but was universally considered a spectacle at the time. With IGN saying there's little in the 8-minute demo that isn't worthy of awe from their original preview of it. So, but outlined in the Halo blog post, it's being made playable for the first time as part of the Dig Site project, which will also bring back pre-release content from the original Halo Combat Evolved. This will include a ton of different assets, including previously unseen models, vehicles, NPCs, weapons, and even levels. Earth City headlines the package, though finally letting fans have a shot at the famous demo after nearly 2 decades. So this is very cool. If you're kind of new to Halo or you've never seen this, go back and watch the E3 demo of Halo 2. At the time, I don't know how much you guys remember of it, but I mean, at the time, it was super impressive. It was so impressive being able to just the things we were seeing. It was such a big jump from Halo 1 to Halo 2. And that's something that, like, I don't know. I do you guys feel like that's kind of lost to time? Like to where, I mean, dual wielding was being added to Halo 2 and everybody was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. You know what I mean? Like that was not, that wasn't something you could do in the first game. And so to be able to pull that off in Halo 2, it was kind of a big deal. The pulling, if I remember correctly, like, I think the brutes could pull you out of the ghost, stealing the ghost, like jacking the ghost. Like, yeah, there's Super Blitzkrieg is saying I absolutely lost it when he jacked the ghost. Yeah, and it was, I mean, that was super, super cool, because it was like, before you were kind of hosed if you're going against the vehicle unless you had rockets. But now you were going to have the opportunity to not only stand a chance against the vehicle, but possibly take the vehicle. Joel Mead is saying Halo 2 was game changing at the time. Graphics, online play, mechanics, etc.
So this is a quote from the blog. Our end goal is to get it running. So this is the Earth City demo. Get it running on the MCC, playable end to end, and working as intended if you follow the presentation script. Because back in the day, this was a thing that you had to hit marks. It even says it in here. A lot of it was smoke and mirrors. Like the vertical slices that you're seeing, and in this case, it wasn't even a vertical slice. It was just a tech demo, pretty much. They're live running. There's somebody on the sticks, but they are trying. They're it's rehearsed. They're practicing it. Somebody is also, if the tech is kind of weird, there's also somebody in backstage that's also mirroring the controls, so that if the controller dies or something like that, somebody else is able to take over and keep hitting the mark. I think that was something I remember from like the Xbox original presentation. There was somebody in the back behind stage, or even was it in the box that the thing was on?
Something like that. Yes,
yeah.
something like that.
So there's somebody, there's fail safes, but these are also just, like it says, smoke and mirrors. It's showing you what it can be, but it's not all there yet. So they're putting up kind of facades on different things. But it sounds like they're gonna make it be able to, if you want to run through the script, you can do it. But they might also be just implementing smarter AI and the tech of Halo, like all of what's in MCC, and make it maybe more of a play space. It sounds hopefully.
What I'm interested in is to see how the community breaks this.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll probably be able to dive into it more than we're expecting to see from this scripted demo. They'll probably have it running on. You'll probably be able to play this online somehow. Some modder is going to figure it out.
Yeah, once the code is put in, MCC's on PC, so as soon as that code is out there, I'm sure people will rip it apart and find ways to mod it.
I can't wait to speedrun it.
How long was that demo back then?
It was like 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes is what the IGN article said. So
That's about the length of a game you need, right?
hey now. Take it easy. Take it easy. Chironic says, I remember my mom getting so angry at my dad because he left home to get a copy of the game from GameStop, talking Halo 2. I mean, I've talked about it on the show before and in many other podcasts as well, but my son had rings, like Halo rings, as if you were waiting for, I don't know if you guys did this at Christmas time with construction paper, but you would glue
the Advent countdown.
Kind of like, yeah. And so every day I had like tape to the backside of the peninsula in the kitchen.
November 9th, right? If I remember right. Is that right?
It was something like that. I don't remember exactly, but
I don't think I went to many college classes that day.
Yeah, well, I was injured. I had a back injury, so I was like, "Oh darn, I have to lay on my couch and play Halo all the time." And but he had rings.
November 9th, 2004. I did remember correctly.
Love it. Yeah. So he every day he'd rip one off, and then I remember the last day he was so. I remember him looking at me like, "It's tomorrow." I'm like, "You're right. It's tomorrow." And I remember going to the midnight release, getting home, playing the campaign on. I don't remember if I played on Legendary or not. I want
Legendary Halo 2 was no joke.
It was.
I think that's the only Halo I haven't. That's the only Halo I don't think I've beat on Legendary, because it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Those snipers are just take you out, and the checkpoints were I think the co-op kind of hacking that you had in Halo 1, where you could have your buddy come up and just melee you from behind, that didn't play well with Halo 2.
I
remember 2 guys on my dorm floor locked themselves in their dorm for like a week and played Halo 2 co-op on Legendary. And that was insane just to
I
watch
bet
that.
that room smelled amazing. Yeah, looking at the chat here, Servant saying, Halo 2 was the first game I remember friends taking off school for the release. Super Blitzkrieg saying, I went through a mental breakdown playing it on Legendary. Chironic says, if you play on normal, you'll finish in approximately 7 hours. If you play on Legendary, you'll finish with a broken controller. So, there you go. It is definitely a brutal one. And yeah, I don't know that I've actually completed Halo 2 on Legendary either. Let's see. This is from Remedy Boots. It says, I remember getting an original Xbox not long after it came out and getting a friend's mom to buy me Halo 1 when Halo 2 came out. I literally only had that on my Christmas list. Oh, I love it. I love it. Super Blitzkrieg says 2 words: jackal snipers. Yeah, they will ruin your life for sure. So, well, speaking of campaign and co-op campaign, the beta.
Look at that transition.
Yeah, the beta
Good.
is currently happening. And, a lot of the talk has been about some of the limitations, right? Because you can only go about 1,000 meters or 800 feet from the host, and then you die. So
is that a limitation of the beta, or is that just a feature in co-op?
It's just the way they've designed it, so that, and I'm assuming it's gonna.
How far is that? How far is 800 or 1,000 feet? 1,000 meters.
So there, the site I'm looking at right now doesn't really show, but I think on maybe on 343's blog it does show the kind of like if you're standing here, how far away you can go. We've talked about this quite a bit on like the Xbox Factor podcast. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as a lot of people are thinking, because
until you turn skulls on and you all become Spider-Man, and then
there's that for sure. The biggest concern I brought up, like when we were talking about it on Xbox Factor, was that the speedrunning community. Could you imagine 4 speedrunners getting in and being able to? But at the same time, I'm wondering if like the host. What I love about this is that I have a feeling people are going to get very creative with it, right? To where the host is going to be like, okay, I'm taking spot A, you go to spot B, you go to spot C, and you go to spot D, and we're going to be able to take all those out, but I can't leave this position or one of you dies.
Because it's a radius, right?
It is a radius of some, like, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I would assume that would be the case. So, that's got me kind of excited, wondering how that kind of stuff will,
because there's already a big skip in like the dig site level. I think if you do something right, you can skip to like the house of whatever it's called, I forget, but there's ways to skip like a good handful of the campaign on Legendary or whatever with skulls on.
Gotcha. I see. Yeah. So taking a look here at this article, it says right now Halo Infinite's campaign co-op mode will only be available part as the limited time beta, which we know you had to have signed up by what, Tuesday,
I believe.
Yeah. But it is going to be heading to Halo Infinite some point in 2022. We don't have a release date yet. But beginning July 11th, players will be able to play the Halo Infinite's co-op campaign for just 11 days, with the beta ending on July 22nd. There are also a few steps players need to take in order to gain access to this, and it goes through signing up for the insider program, that kind of stuff.
I feel like we're due a developer live stream event here sometime soon then. I mean, when you think, Because
Yeah, I would hope
I
so.
mean, when this rolls out, it's not just going to roll out on a Tuesday, is it? Like, there's going to be some kind of content drop with it, hopefully, right? A little bit of fanfare, let people know that there's an
that's
update to
never
the game.
happened.
Because we didn't have anything at the showcase like we all thought there would be something. I don't know.
Yeah.
A new map or something. I don't know. Like, what is that team doing? Because it's not all co-op campaign. Like, there's a Forge team working. There's got to be multiplayer maps being developed and worked on. Like, roll something out.
They they know about the desyncing melee issue.
They know about the infinite light, your impenetrable bullet thing where you just stand on the power. That got taken out of rotation and ranked.
They're programming the Fall Guys backpack.
Right. Yeah. But here's what they've said. The team that would fix this melee issue is working on something else. So they know it's a problem. They don't have the people to fix it right now.
So is that game modes? Is that what is? I mean,
there may be more solid info on exactly what they are working on, but
and how big do we say this 343 is? 800 plus people, right?
It's 800 plus, yeah.
So how much of that team is dedicated MCC?
Yeah,
because that seems to be getting plenty of love. But I just wonder what the division of, because first off, that's a separate engine now because Infinite is its own new engine. So it's not like they can move stuff MCC over, but like MCC is still they have a decent amount of people that are working on the dig site stuff, I'm sure, and other, like you said, the Fall Guys backpack and other stuff. Like,
so this is from Reddit. 343 Industries developer Brian Berryhill, who responded to a post, says, although there are a lot of factors regarding why problems like this haven't been fixed, it's essentially because the developers who would usually work on fixes for these problems have been allocated to other Infinite work, according to Berryhill. This work has had some knock-on benefit to fixing network synchronization problems, but not those directly pertaining to melee hits or around the wall shots. Another problem being experienced by Halo Infinite multiplayer gamers. Berryhill says that the devs should be coming back to his team soon, which will hopefully mean that fixes for melee collision bug is on its way. For now, however, it looks like you're just going to have to sit tight if you're a Halo Infinite player. So
they did fix
that's not a good answer.
They did fix tagging players through walls or whatever pretty quickly. I mean, there's been a handful of bugs that came out with season 2 that they've been working on, but if there's a team that's being shorthanded due to working on something else, then that just handcuffs them a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm often at a loss talking about this game. I love Halo. I love the series. I love Infinite. But my overall gut feeling is that and I think some of this has come to light. But I think this game hit drawing board over and over again, and what they finally got out an MVP, the minimum viable product, and that's what we got.
Is it drawing board, or do you think it's growing pains of a new engine?
It could potentially be that, but I mean, we know like lead directors, designers, that kind of stuff, were leaving late in the life cycle of, and then Joseph getting brought back in. I just feel like, and again, it's all just like speculation and gut feeling, but I kind of have a feeling a lot of that is what's kind of gone on with some of this. So, man, I have these websites open. They're just lagging my camera. Like,
your camera
they're
just working hard.
they're just like all their ads
desyncing.
nonstop. So yeah.
I also think that it's a problem. It was we got to get this out. Like Microsoft is like we don't have anything. Starfield's not coming out for 2 years.
Well, it was already delayed a year. I mean,
Yeah, but they had it. Xbox had to get something out, so they pushed this out.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's still in beta, so that's great. They can still use that as a. I don't necessarily want to say the word excuse. But
what's still in beta?
I don't think it's in beta
It's
anymore.
not
I
in
think it's
beta.
a full release.
multiplayer.
No, that was season 0 or whatever. It's we've already made it through a season and we're in season 2.
Hang on, let me see.
I
I think they're out
are
of
they
beta.
classifying it like they're trying to take the Fortnite route and say it's in beta for 3.5 years?
I believe so. Yeah, like Fortnite, Halo Infinite's free-to-play multiplayer will likely stay in beta for the foreseeable future.
Huh. I didn't realize that was still classified that. Interesting. Yeah, because
So,
Fortnite didn't go like out of beta until like midway through
I don't
season
know if
2
it
or
is
season
beta.
3.
I think it's still.
No, Fortnite is technically full release now.
Let me see. It doesn't say beta when I load it up.
so beta saves the day, so that's good at least. But speaking of saving the day, Brian, I believe. Let's see. I want to make sure I get his name correct here. Let's see. I'm sorry, Paul Bertone. This is from Joseph State, and I'm happy to confirm that Halo veteran Paul Bertone has joined the team as studio technical design director. Paul and I met in 1999 back in Bungie's Chicago days, and then shipped Halo 1 through 3, ODST, and Reach together. I'm thrilled to have Paul help lead the future of Halo Infinite. So, more veterans coming back to Halo. I think this is a good thing. It's
Is he working on MCC or is he going to work on Infinite?
yeah, right. So going back here on the let me just check the article a little bit more. So it says a new Halo Infinite update is seemingly good news for fans of the sci-fi first-person shooter series. This is from comicbook.com. Especially good news for OG fans who may prefer the older Bungie era Halo games compared to 343 Industries era Halo games. It looks like, I mean, he's showing up as technical design director, so he may have his hands in everything with a role like that. It may be some MCC as well as Infinite. It's it just says I'm happy to have him lead no, there's okay. I'm looking at the tweet, and because of the hashtag, I didn't catch the last part of the sentence. But it says, "I'm thrilled to have Paul help lead the future of Halo Infinite."
That's good.
So there we go. Like, and I mean, I'm of the mind that I believe 343 has a leadership problem. That's kind of where I lead. That like there people are not doing their jobs, and
they need to set realistic expectations, set attainable goals, convey that to their team, and then get that also on camera in blog posts and such to the fans, so
Right.
that when people are left to their own devices, look at the hate that God of War got, like right up until what 2 days ago, day and a half,
Yesterday.
whatever.
Yeah.
People were sending inappropriate pictures to devs. They were complaining that they didn't get a state of play or whatever for God of War on June 3rd, like rumored June 30th stuff. Like when people are left to their own devices and the narrative is not driven by the studio, then people run wild with ideas and expectations for what it's going to be, and then are disappointed when either the real thing is revealed or nothing is said at all. And so set realistic expectations, convey that. I think certain games have a good rapport. Like there's a blog post that comes out. I think it's fairly regular, right? With Halo.
Oh yeah.
But like it needs to be, I think, broadcast a little bit better, more live events so that they get people on camera showcasing what they're working on, as opposed to just still pictures or just words on a blog post, and let people know that there is stuff in the works, but also holding the people that are making that stuff accountable, so that stuff that they can have a regular cadence of release, so that people aren't getting antsy about when something is going to come out. And the fact that they said co-op was going to come at the launch of season 2 has, I think, a lot of people questioning whether Forge is going to come at the launch of season 3, because
that co-op was coming in August.
No, they initially said, when chat can maybe fact check me, I guess, but I was pretty sure they had said at the launch of season 2 co-op would be ready. They walked that back getting closer to the launch of season 2, so we knew
Correct.
going in.
Yeah.
But I think initially, with that 6-month season 1 release, they said, this is the goal for season 2, this is the goal for season 3. I'm not holding my breath that Forge is going to be ready in November, December. When is it? When is the season up? November?
November.
Yeah, and there's been some leaks of Forge, from my understanding of things that we've seen, and it looks like progress is being made if they're real, right? So, hopefully, not that I don't necessarily want to see like people losing their jobs or people, this guy cleaning house, right? But I do.
So
I want to see them get to a place where they're on the offensive instead of being on the defensive all the time with this game, because it seems like, they're always, it's always reaction. And when it's time to lay, like, we got no news about Halo during the what would be the E3 presentation.
How does Phil Spencer not say, like, give me some, like, I get that they're hands off on a lot of stuff, but like, Halo is Xbox. Xbox is Halo. Like, how do you have something that is the next 12 months of Xbox and not have any mention of Halo, minus a Pelican in Flight Simulator?
Yeah.
It just seems odd.
It boggles.
It seems like they're
mind.
hiding something. I mean, honestly. Or it's not ready, or it's like way.
That's what they're hiding. The fact that it's not ready, right?
Yeah.
That, like, we're playing a portion of a game, unfortunately.
I enjoyed, like, I've played through the campaign twice. I'm on my third playthrough doing Lasso. Like, I haven't gone back to it a little bit since I did get the tank gun, and I'm able to keep it on my save. And then they did restore that eventually for the fan outcry that they took that away. But I'm excited. We talked about this like the weeks after the release, like the amount of stuff that can exist as vignettes or a Halo Infinite .2, like 2.0, like stuff that can come out that takes place in the 6 months on Zeta Halo. Like, there can be a great ODST kind of style game built that you're not playing as Chief, but you're playing as all the other Spartans that either lose their lives, or the Marines, or whoever else that you say. Like, there is a lot of stories in those audio logs that there can be a lot of. This can be a platform. It's just they gotta get the wheels on the platform to be able to drive it. Like, it's not going anywhere right now because they're still building the game while it's out.
Well, and to what you were saying, like, I feel like with as much stuff that's coming out with MCC and what needs to be coming out with Infinite, there could be a Halo presentation that covers everything. That it doesn't have to be drip fed. It doesn't have to be completely infinite focused, but we could get information, or at least somewhat of a roadmap on what's happening and what to somewhat expect, even if it's not great news, even if it's, yeah, Forge is going to be tested during the holidays, right? For the insiders, and then hopefully coming out during season 3. I mean, yes, it's not great news, but at least it's clear information on what's going on with this game, because it looks like it's just fumbling in the dark right now somewhat. And,
What if they take a Fallout 76 approach? That game was rough when it first
Mhm.
launched, and it probably took, they I think they relaunched it, didn't they? Like a year
Did-
later, they like
Did Bethesda proper go in and help with that? Because I know that was made by Austin or something like that, right? Did 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 Todd Howard get involved?
I'm sure he did. I mean, you see
Because
your
it's tarnishing the name of one of your
yeah,
franchises. You
but
kind of have to get involved.
but now they're still supporting it. Like they showed
Mhm.
another expansion during the uh, Xbox event, so I could see them, maybe hard rebooting in December and saying, "Hey, this is we're essentially relaunching this game with Forge. We're gonna have co-op campaign. We're gonna have, a battle royale or something. Um, it's gonna be a full package." Like I think, with these little drip feeds that they're doing every 6 months, I think it's hurting them more than it's helping. Like I know we want content, but I don't know. It just feels like the drip feed is kind of like a slap in the face. Like I would rather have them hold back content and tell us that they're gonna, have everything fixed and include it in like a big December update or something.
Mhm.
Like instead of
Well, I still think the challenges there's lots of just quality of life stuff that just needs to be addressed too. Better ways to manage your challenges and just progress through the season pass and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the I feel like they've made good steps forward with some of the playlists and stuff with snipers, but then not every same thing with like the SWAT playlist, whatever it's called. I forget what tactical. Um,
Tactical
when
Slayer.
when they put in stuff that nobody necessarily wants, maulers or stalkers or uh, pistols, like just make it old school SWAT, like with the BR, and just make it shoddy snipes and not putting in other stuff. Because I think people have an expectation when they click on that playlist, and there's no option for customization when it comes to
Yeah.
how you're doing it. Well, and also like I wouldn't mind a grab bag. Not that it needs to be across game types or whatever, but they've proven that they have some kind of code that can understand if you want this playlist in this game and this playlist and this game, like with when it comes to the matchmaking and MCC, like let's mix in an entrenched and SWAT and strategy snipers all in one like pool of hit matchmake and go. Like I'd almost be on board with that so that you can have multiple things, but I think you also need to have better control on your challenges too, because that frustrates people when you can't work on stuff correctly.
We talk about the issues that the game has, but like Halo Infinite's not the only game struggling right now with this. Like Apex, I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a
There was
no
a patch
Apex
today, I
August
think,
or
right?
something. I don't know if I don't know if they addressed the issues, but apparently people are trying to boycott Apex for the month of August because the system is so broken right now.
Is it Elo broken or is it how is it broken?
I think that people don't like the rank system.
Yeah. Marcus has a good comment as well. Like just voting on the next map. Like I think we need to have more maps in the rotation for that to have kind of any consequence. But the problem, the I guess going back to the problem of the voting thing, nobody stays. It's not a. That was a unique thing to Call of Duty back in 2004, to Halo 2 and Halo 3. You were in a lobby, and you pretty much stayed with those people unless you chose to leave. So you could have what could develop in just a 30 to hour and a half play limit, like play session. You could develop a mini rivalry with somebody, and
With
you
some
were
choice words.
some stuff about their mom and
That's
their
very
other-
tame. That's very tame.
I'm sure it got more colorful, but but you don't stay in a lobby anymore. It kicks you back to menu every time in this game. So I mean that's
Does
also
it? I thought you could.
I don't think you stay in. I think it kicks you back to menu every time, because you have
I've not
to
played in a
initiate the
while.
matchmake every time. I think, if I'm remembering,
I think
I kind of
think
just
you'd
do that.
stay.
Just you don't even think about it anymore. But
No, I guess we do, because when we do the big team battle, we always go back to the lobby after every match.
Jumping back to chat here, Joel Mead asked the question: how do we know how large the Halo Infinite team is compared to, say, Apex from Respawn or COD Warzone team? So I just looked it up. Apparently, in June of 2020, there were 1,200 people working on Halo Infinite. Apex,
Yeah, but it's not all multiplayer though.
correct. Apex, 115.
well, and Respawn has 4
They're making Star
teams
Wars.
now. Yeah, they have 4 teams, I think now.
Yeah,
But the Apex team needs to go back to. They need to make Titanfall again.
and Call of Duty, it looks like 3,000.
Well, is that across?
That's probably across
Is that across
all Call of Duty.
four studios or?
So over 3,000 people are working on the franchise, representing 31% of the total employee headcount, 9,800, and nearly half of its total developers. The publisher says, this is from the publisher being Activision, developing the most ambitious plan in franchise history, which will culminate in Modern Warfare 2 and the new revamped Warzone. So,
Uh,
I mean, Warzone has its own problems and stuff as
Yeah,
well.
but
For
we're getting
sure.
Warzone 2. It doesn't matter.
yeah, for sure. And everything, that's just games these days, especially games as service. They're a living, breathing mechanism at this point, and so it does take a lot of work. But I mean, the Apex is at 115. I do want to please don't quote me on this. I'm just doing quick Google searches, so this is what's popping
The
up,
internet
but-
wouldn't lie to you.
Well, they
you never know.
got at least one guy working on heirlooms. That's
How
all
many
they need.
how many people doing the statistical calculations for loot boxes?
Yeah,
They're
there you
making
go.
Power Ranger skins,
Do they
Yeah,
have Power
They're
Rangers
busy
skins
over
in
there. They're
Apex
busy
too?
over there. I feel
Love
like, I mean, once they, I mean, I don't know how game development works. I'm sure maintaining a live service game is not an easy feat. Like, I know the Fortnite, they always said the Fortnite devs were under crunch like all the time, like all year round, because they have to try to get more content out constantly. And maybe they 343. I think 343 said that they don't want to have crunch culture or something like that. And games are so complicated, and we're not 8-bit anymore. So I'm sure it takes a lot more to program a whole new map that works correctly all the time.
Yeah.
Then
I mean, that goes back to realistic expectations and making that for your employees, and also educating the public so that they don't get crazy for something and build it up in their head and then be disappointed when it doesn't happen. Because we sit here in our bi-weekly show and come up with ideas, and who knows how far-fetched some of that stuff is.
if Infinite was released back in 2007, back when Halo 3 was, a thing, I feel like people would feel differently about it because you just played the game to play the game, not just to unlock the next thing.
You played for the rank, like you played for the rank as well.
Yeah,
like,
it was a good rank system. But I mean, thinking of Halo Infinite, it has, with the exception of Forge, it has the content that Halo 3 had.
I mean, it doesn't have co-op.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's working on it.
It is a work in progress. Well, again, I want to remind everybody, next Thursday, we don't do a show. We do community game night where we play with you guys. We jump in Discord. We jump in voice chat. Just remember that we are live, so you have to filter yourself. Yes, just some.
I said "but" one time and I got kicked off.
You did.
That's
yeah.
not true. What, really?
Your mom yelled at him. You remember?
I have a very vulgar TikTok that I need to make with a clip somewhere on this YouTube channel.
Josh will steal your BR. So if you don't want, if you want a BR, maybe don't play.
Yeah, or just follow me. That's what everybody else says. Just follow me and pick it up off my corpse. So
you did die in that clip right after that.
Yeah, there it is. There, I'm still waiting on the video of Josh doing
all right.
There we go, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us live here, and we will see you. We'll see you next week. Jump into the community game night. Link to the Discord is in the description. Bye, everybody.
Please call us at your earliest convenience.
Now, show me what you can do.